what led you to content creation, and how actually did you take the steps to being able to quit your job and do this full time?
If you believe that you're going to be a CEO, if you believe that you're going to be a multi-millionaire woman, if you believe that you're going to be the first woman in your family to have multiple businesses, it all begins with you.
Hello, 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 everybody. This show has been created to inspire you to take action,
celebrating and reframing what success looks like,
to be the best version of ourselves that we can be.
and we have incredible speakers for you tonight. Alrighty, well, hello and welcome everyone to the very first episode ever of the Future Female Show, which, as you know, exists to celebrate and reframe success of female founders, changing the game in all different industries.
I am Susanna Kennedy, and of course, this is Lauren Dallas, the co-founder, because Serena is here as well, of Future Females, and we are so excited to have you here with us tonight.
I would like to introduce our very first speaker, or interviewee. It is none other than the incredible Babalwa, who's going to make her entrance. I'm sure for many of you, Babawa needs no introduction, but I am going to give it a try. Babawa is so many things. She is a full-time content creator. She is an influencer with 250,000 followers, probably more since I last checked. She is a founder in her own right of B&M Loungewear. She is a mom of 2 gorgeous little boys. She's only 27, just to throw that out there as well. And something that she is not is now full-time employed because she quit her job in October. So, woo! So celebrating that, and thank you so much for being our first ever speaker.
Aw, thank you so much for having me. What an introduction. Oh my goodness.
And that introduction is actually going to be followed by how you would like to be introduced, because one of the things that we really want to enforce is women standing up and saying, this is who I am. And so, Babs, will you introduce yourself to the audience?
Wow, so much pressure. I'm kidding. Thank you so much for that introduction, Lauren. So my name is Babalwa. I was given a surname by a guy I met in Cape Town a few years ago, and he decided that, oh, I love this woman. I want to change her surname to a very difficult surname to pronounce, which is Mcaciso. I was born in a small city called Port Elizabeth. Some of you know it as the Windy City. And then I told my parents in grade 9 that, it's so funny because I've always known that I've wanted to be in the media industry. Like as a child growing up, I've always told them that one day I'm going to be on TV, I'm either going to be a news presenter, or I'm going to be a presenter in general, not a news presenter, a presenter in general, but some way, somehow, I want to be in front of the camera. I want to inspire other people, and I believe that I was born to do this. So at the end of grade 9, towards the end of grade 9, I told my parents, man, I don't want to live here anymore. I feel like all my dreams are in Cape Town. And I was like, please, can I move to Cape Town? I want to pursue this TV thing. And they're like, sure, if you can find yourself a school in Cape Town, go for it. And on my first day of the school, I remember my parents dropping me off. And I told them that I want to be the head girl of the school. And I am also going to make sure that I fulfill my promise that I made to you guys, which was to land myself my first TV job in the next 6 months. So my dad was like, ha, 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 cute. So within 3 months of me being in Cape Town, I kid you not, I landed myself my first TV role, which was a traveling TV show that played on SABC 3, which was part of Okuhle Media. Okuhle Media does Hectic 99, and so... So I got myself that job and worked for about 2 years in this traveling kiddies reality TV show. So every school holidays, I started working at the age of 15. Every school holidays, we would fly to a province, travel around, and here I am fulfilling the dream that I had spoken into my life of being in front of a TV and being inspiring other children to fulfill their dreams.
Ooh, champagne!
So you may be wondering why is she saying all of this, but I really just want to emphasize the power of the tongue and manifesting everything that you have in your life. It all begins with you telling yourself and speaking yourself in a specific way. A lot of people around you may think, oh, shame, she's so cute, she's dreaming. But the reality is the law of attraction. You attract things that you believe you deserve to have. And when you start believing in that way, your walk every day is based on you believing that you're going to acquire certain things. If you believe that you're going to be a CEO, if you believe that you're going to be a multi-millionaire woman, if you believe that you're going to be the first woman in your family to have multiple businesses, it all begins with you.
Absolutely. Amazing, Babawa. I think what stands out for me is, of course, as you said, you clearly had the belief in everything that you were going to achieve, but there was also a huge commitment through every single step of your journey to achieve what it is you set out to. And so I think bringing it back to your current path as a full-time content creator. Do we have any content creators or influencers, personal brands? Okay, a couple of people waving. One thing that you will know, like I'm sure you've experienced, is that it is a difficult path to be financially independent from. You do it purely, well, you start from love and then you turn it into a business. And so I think I want to come back to that and just say, what led you to content creation, and how actually did you take the steps to being able to quit your job and do this full time?
So I actually studied advertising after matric, right? And I went after graduated, went to the AAA, did an integrated marketing communications, worked in advertising for about 5 to 6 years, and started my whole content creation at the beginning of lockdown. So everyone was at home, right? The strategy behind this.
That's hard to replicate, perhaps.
No, but you can. I promise you can. So everyone was at home. I knew that I've always wanted to go into the space, but I really just didn't know how I was going to get into it. So one day, I was so sick and tired of working in advertising, and I kept on complaining every day to my husband, oh my gosh, I work, this and that. So one day we came back from work, and we shot like 5 different YouTube videos. Uploaded them. We didn't know what we were doing at the time. I learned how to edit from YouTube. I uploaded everything. And to cut the long story short, eventually my social media influencer career picked up to the point where I needed to leave my full 9-to-5 job because I got so busy that at work I was making excuses during lunch breaks to go on shoots.
It's a terrible problem to have.
It was so bad. I was like, oh my God, I have to, I would lie at work and leave, go on a whole shoot during your lunch break. That's brave. But until I worked and believed so much in the YouTube space obviously we started sharing authentic content. We looked at the space and we're like, a lot of people are actually sharing content that makes people feel bad about themselves and their lives, where after you've been on Instagram for a while, you ask yourselves, am I not doing enough for myself? Because you see everyone posting the amazing highlight reels of their lives. Like, I just bought a new car, I just graduated. And then my husband and I were like, no, we actually want to share stories, which is something that you mentioned earlier on. We want to share stories of what we've been through. What are our life challenges? What we've had to go through to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And we want to remain authentic on this space. And little did I know that I would be gaining so many followers from that. When you introduced me on the stage, you're like, oh, I've got 250,000 followers. I intentionally did not do that, but through everything that I was doing, I kept on wanting to share my authentic stories and just inspiring other women, man, and just, yeah, so
I love that. And I think, your authenticity for me sets you apart from other influencers. And I've seen your YouTube channel and you literally this is how I met my husband. The show How I Met Your Mother. Babs has done How I Met My Husband, which I think is really, really cute. And you are very honest in what you do. Do you think that is the main thing that sets you apart as an influencer from other influencers? Or is there something else as well?
I definitely think that it is what sets me apart. Another thing that also sets me apart is the fact that I'm so damn hardworking.
I love that you said that because when you introduced yourself, that was something I really took away from that. And I agree with you. It's one thing to have a vision. It's one thing to dream, right? It's one thing to have that. But unless you are committed, like Lauren said, and then actually take action, like day in and day out action to get where you want to go, you're not going to get there, right?
That's true. That's absolutely true. And I feel like what really does set me apart is the fact that I am super authentic in everything that I do. And because I've used social media as a platform to work with so many other brands, like I always look at my profile and say, this is a CV that is being recognized by other brands. And those brands, just by looking at my social media page, decide whether they want to work with me or not. So all the work that I do and put out there, I need to make sure that I continue to improve the standard and the quality of work that I do. And what you see on social media is only just the cream of the crop. There's also management of working with different campaign managers of brands, being professional, submitting content on time, and the list really does go on.
Go on and on and on. And I think that's probably a good lead in, Lauren, to we asked these lovely ladies that we are interviewing, what are the steps that they've taken to get where they are? Because I think that is something that is inspiring, but it also can inspire you guys watching to take action in the right direction. So do you want to maybe chat about some of the steps that you've taken that you think, oh my gosh, if I share this, this is going to help those ladies out there to get where they want to be?
But also, maybe thinking about something you would share if you did it all again.
Yeah,
if you
for
were
sure.
on day one and had someone like you available, what advice would you want?
Yeah. So for me, I've got 5 things that I really just want to touch on this evening. The first thing is, don't be afraid of making mistakes. I myself was, I'm very hard on myself in a lot of things. And I feel like in everything that you do in life, for you to be able to succeed, you need to fall, you need to make mistakes, and you need to learn how not to do it in that way. One thing that I've learned is that falling in a specific way helps you to know how to not fall in that way again. So in order for you to succeed, you need to not be afraid of learning. For example, if you're learning how to, for example, if you're learning how to ride a bicycle, you are going to fall because you've never ridden it. But once you ride it again, you'll know how not to fall the way that you fell before.
So, Babs, I love that piece of advice because I'm a recovering perfectionist. I don't know if anybody else is, but I am. But I'd like to know, what is that way for you? What is that way of falling that makes it easier or makes it worthwhile falling because you've learned something new? What is that way for you?
So I've fallen so many times, hey. I started a loungewear business last year before I left my 9 to 5. I was like, oh, I'm so passionate about this. I'm going to start it. But I was working a full-time job. I was planning my wedding, which was in December. I was I was doing content creation full time. And I started the business because I had this vision in my mind that, oh, this is going to be beautiful, and I know what it's meant to be like, but I didn't have enough resources to do it. So I fell, basically. And now I'm busy trying to get up, and I'm busy trying to rebuild that business because I obviously still want to pursue it because it's something I'm so passionate about. And yeah, so that is the real example of me falling in real life. So learning how to not do something, like how to do something in a specific, learning not how to do something in a specific way helps you know how to do it in another way. That's what I
Babs,
want.
just to-
Okay, I like that. Did you hear that?
I did, yes.
I
You
thought
can
that was
repeat it.
really good. That was like a champagne moment, like learning to not do something in a specific way helps you to learn to do something in another way.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
It's
I like
beautiful.
that.
But Babs, I'm going to put you on the spot because you say that's a time that you fell, but having been shared your 5 points, I remember that a different one of them is just start.
Yes.
Which is exactly what you did. So do you want to expand on that one?
So the reason why I say just start is because a lot of us don't start because we've got this picture perfect vision of how our business should be operating, of how we should be, like you see yourself as the next CEO or the next owner of a sorbet or whatever. You've got that whole picture in your mind, but it doesn't start like that. You have to start, like when you're making bread, for example. You get flour, you get salt, you get sugar, you get the yeast, and you have to go through the kneading process. At some point, your hands need to get dirty, but you know the end vision is to make bread, right? So just start. Take all those ingredients and just start. It's not easy just starting because you may think to yourself, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have all the equipment. We started our YouTube channel with our phone. And we started creating all the content that we create for our social media pages with our phone. So I started the laundry business as well, knowing absolutely nothing. But because I just started, I've gained experience. I know now what not to do that I made, but like back then. So the beauty of everything is just to start.
And also, I have to just say that I went on your Instagram page for your loungewear, and you've got almost 9,000 followers on just that Instagram page. So success, which we will speak about just now, reframing success, but it's very much an individual perception, right? And I think that that's such an important thing to touch on. Should we chat about?
Yeah, with
one
just
of
a
the
few
other-
minutes to go. So
Yeah.
for everyone in the audience who wants to know the tips we haven't covered, you'll have to catch Babawa afterwards. But something I really want to know in the context of success is, what does that look like for you now? What is success, and has it changed since you started?
So for me, I always say that success is not about making money. It's not about having materialistic things, but it's about waking up every day and doing something that you absolutely love, that even on your worst day, no one has to wake you up, but you wake yourself up because you are doing what you love. You're doing what you're passionate about, and you're following your dreams. You're doing your purpose and God-given dream and something that you were created to do. So successful, if I die today, I need, on my obituary, it needs to say she lived a life of her potential fully. I need to go to rest knowing that all the skills that God has given me, even if it's like the little bit of it that I'm not that good in, all my skills, I have poured out my cup and have emptied it to a big audience, a small audience, a neighbor, an employee of mine, my kids. So success to me is pouring out everything that you were created to do, all your skills, and emptying your cup.
Wow,
I
That's
love that.
Beautiful.
Yes, we're going to have to do.
And thank you, because I think that's exactly what you've been doing here tonight as well, in your story and some of the tips you've shared as well, and even just how you come across. You were clearly born to do this, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I think the last one, because I'm really passionate about getting everybody to start celebrating themselves, and I love that story about success, that you just, your version of it is just beautiful. If there's one thing that you would want to be celebrated for, like want to be remembered for, what would that be?
I think it's my love for people, my love of sharing, my love for doing this. I love this. I love pouring into other women. I love speaking life into other women, and men, actually, strangers somehow. Like if I see you, and I think I've got a gift of speaking life into people, and when I do meet you and you share with me that, oh, I'm feeling discouraged, this is happening, I want to be remembered for pouring life into other people and encouraging them to live the best of their capabilities in whatever challenge they face and whatever it is that they do in life.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And I know that to be true of you as well, because I've met you before. Guys, that was Babalwa. Give her a huge round of applause. And we are so honored that you were our first interview on the Future Females Show. Woo! Thank you so much, guys. For those of you watching online, thank you for being with us.